Today we're going to read the Munisutta from the Sutta Nipata. We're not going to read all the verses, but we will take a few of them. They are quite profound verses actually, and there's quite a lot to unpack from each of them. We will use the commentary also to unpack what the intended meaning of some of the words is supposed to be, how we should take it. And we will follow some of the references to see what is it that we should remember, how a certain expression should be understood. Because reading the suttas, especially when you read it in the Pāli, then it works like a wiki, that the suttas are connected through key words. That you see the form of a word, and you should remember that that was also in that form in that other sutta, and that informs what is being referenced. So it's like it's especially when we read gathas, the verses like this. Poetry is also playing this referencing game, that you need to remember what has been said in order to understand what is said at the present. But before we start reading, I wanted to show you how, I think often people don't know how to open commentaries, and I wanted to show you just the easy steps how you do this. So so it's not available on Singsapa yet. That's why I'm not opening it in Singsapa. The commentaries I don't have in the database yet. But this is the old school Pāli reader started by Venerable Yuttadhammo. What was it? Something like 2005, 2006. At the time, it was a browser extension, and since then it's been transported to this website. And so here, for example, to find the Sutta Nipata text, we're looking for Khuddaka Nikaya. Then we want the Sutta Nipata, right? And then I think this is in Mahavaggo, or where is it? Sutta Nipata. That's right. In Uravaggo, there's Munisutta. So now this opens the sutta for me, right? And we have the text in the Pāli. And then this menu at the top will have this very condensed interface where you can open the commentaries from here. The texts are, the original source texts are called Mula. Mula means root. So the root text is either from the time of the Buddha or from the first council, or those are the canonical texts. Those are the Mula with the M. And the letter A signifies the commentary. The Atthakatha is the commentary that is composed later on, most of them from the time of writing down in Sri Lanka and later. And then the T is would be the Tika, which is the commentary on the commentary. So it's the sub-commentary that came even later. And so to open the commentary for the Munisutta, we click on the letter A here. And so it will open the commentary section for us. And you see the commentary has these bold terms which signify which word or which phrase is being explained. And so here the verse starts with Santavato Bhayam Jatam, right? And so the commentary also brings that phrase up, Santavato Bhaya Jatanti, in the Munisutta. How did this come about? What is the origin story? And then the text starts to talk about the story that is attached to that verse. And then the other phrases can be followed up like that, what particular phrase in the verses mean. And so in the old days, this was quite unapproachable like this, because you would have to go through each word to understand. these days, what often people will start with is that they will copy paste a paragraph like this and they will give it to your favorite AI, your favorite LLM, and they will do some approachable job to translate it, and then that's a start to understand what the verse might be. Okay, so
Achan,
yes.
I'm just curious, how do you use AI to translate? Like, often, how do you use it?
So first I use the dictionary lookup. So if we first I always try to open the Sutta from an application that gives me the database.
Oh,
Do
nice.
this work? So for example, here we have this is the application I'm working on in Singsapa. So I would open the original text and maybe look at Ajahn Sujato's translation, which has a line-by-line translation, and then that gives me an idea. Is this the text I'm looking for? Is this what I'm interested in? And then if I want to dig deeper into this, then I use the dictionary to break down the words into the different terms. And if I'm still completely lost, then I would copy the section, and I would open one of the AI tools and tell it to translate the following Pāli into English. And then I try to gauge how good quality the result is. Is it producing a rubbish translation or is it producing a reasonable translation? And then if it looks like it's too far from the dictionary meaning of the words, then I use a different one. You have to try a few of them to see which one is going to be suitable for that particular task, and that gives me an idea how to start working with it. And then if I need to really dig into the particular phrases, then I would just start going through it in the dictionary and then break it down like that.
So,
Is that reasonable?
that means you use several AI services?
I usually start with Anthropic's Claude because I use that often, but other people will, they will have some other one that they will prefer. But really, you have to keep in mind to remember that often it will give you wrong translation. And so for a particular text, it might give you a decent translation, and you have to be able to gauge that. Does this look like, the dictionary definitions, or maybe it's picking up a translation, for example, from some Mahayana Sutta that is completely unrelated, and I should just forget about using the AI.
Test.
Okay. Yes, please.
What do you call that application? The
Simsika?
Simsika?
Singsapa, yes. This is I sent you an email, but let's talk about Singsapa at the end of the class. Let's read the sutta. So
Gemini.
Venerable Attanyu, can I ask you to read the first verse for us, please?
Santawato Bayang Jatang Niketa Jayate Rajo Aniketama Santawang Etangwe Munidasanam.
Excellent, thank you. What are the words that you recognize here?
From well, there are not so many. Maybe the connecting.
Okay, so let's start from let's go through it from the beginning then. So Santavato, this is intimacy. Santavato is from intimacy. This is already in the ablative form. Bayang is fear. So something is born, like Jatam. something is born. What is born? Fear is born. Santavato bayang jatam. Niketa jayate rajo. Niketa is a house or household. And this is again an ablative form. So from a home, from a household, dust. Rajo here is from rajas, which is dust or dirt. So the dirt is born, jayate. Here, aniketa. Here you should recognize this is a, niketang, a santavang. So this is niketa again, here niketa, and santava is again intimacy. So from not being in a household or not being intimate with a household, this is the vision, this is the realization of the sage. Like Muni here is the sage. But let's read Sayajanta has very good translations. So he translates it as danger is born from intimacy, right? So bayam jatang, a home gives birth to dust. Free from a home, free from intimacy. Such is the vision of the sage. And the way we need to, so these verses often have some story that is connected to them. And the commentary tells us that this one, the origin story is about a mother and his son. After losing their father, they ordained together, but because of their mutual attachment, they keep meeting each other. They talk a lot, they associate a lot, and they forget about being renunciants. They forget about having ordained. And so they commit all kinds of offenses, and eventually they disrobe and live in a household together. So this is the danger that is born from intimacy. And so to read the explanation of the commentary, Ajahn Gavisako, can you walk us through the commentary sentence there?
Tatha santavo tanha dithi mitta bhedena siddhoti pubbevuto idha tanha dithi santavo adipeto. So this is the way the commentary comments. Basically, it's like a dictionary in a way. This functions as a dictionary, in the Pāli, understanding what each word means. So they will pick on one word. So they say there, in this case, santavo, this word, is tividhoti, meaning is of three types. Tividho, tividha means vidha means types, or three types. So it's of three types, and it's divided into tanha, dithi, mitta, bheda. So bheda is to break something, meaning break, like analysis. Bhedena is the instrumental. It's like through being divided, into tanha, craving, dithi, views, and mitta, friendship, to do with friendship. So the commentary tells you that this word intimacy can be of three kinds. And then pubbevuto, meaning it was previously said. Pubbe means before, as was stated before. Vutta means something that was said, stated, mentioned. But then they say idha, meaning here, in this case, tanhaditi santavo adipeto. The intimacy that is based around craving and views is intended, is meant. Adipeto means something like it's intended.
This is what it's. That's right, and then it explains us jayati rajo.
Jayate rajoti ragadosa moha rajo jayate. Jayate rajo, the dust is born, Rajo, meaning like dusty path. Jayate Rajo, it means Raga Dosa Moha. So the dust arises, Jayati means to be born, but also to arise from greed, hatred, and delusion. Yeah.
That's right. So let's continue. Next verse. Venerable Sekanando, can I ask you to read the next verse, please?
Sure. Is that the Yo Jatamuchija Naropayeya Jayantamasa Nanupaveche Tamahu Ekam Muninam Charantam Adikihi So Santipadam Mahesi.
Excellent. So here, so jata muchya naropayeya. So he would not cultivate that which is I need to.
No, it says.
I'll need help, Hilajanga Vesako. How do we put this together?
Yeah, I think Yo Jatang Uchira, meaning the one who would cut off birth or that which is born.
Yeah. So here we separate Jata, right? Jata Muchya.
Uchija.
So birth cut off.
Yeah, he would cut off that which is born, like we said, that which is born from the greed, hatred, delusion.
So Yo refers to him. This is the sage.
Yeah.
So Yo is he, the sage. He would, what is born and what has been cut off, he would naropayeya. This is the optative. He would not cultivate it, would not allow it to grow.
Exactly.
Would not grow it, would not cultivate it. And then what? Jayantamassa. What is already here? We have to break this Jayantam, Assa, where Assa is to him or for him. What is already born? Nanupavecce. This is
na anupa vechati.
That's right, anupavecchati. He would not support it, he would not nourish it. Tam ahu. This is, we need to recognize that this is tam ahu. Ahu is a common phrase in the text. It means that is said. It's again another way that this is said, or somebody said something that is called or said. Tongue is it. So this is said, referring here to this behavior or to the sage. Ekang muninam charantang. This is said to be the behavior, charanta, behavior of the lonely sage. So ekang literally means one, but here it's somebody who is alone. And so this is the behavior of the lonely sage. Adakki, so santipadang mahesi. Mahesi is again a wise man or a sage, a great sage from Maha. Maha isi is Maha isi mahesi. He's the great sage. So Santipadam, this is the state of peace. The Santi you recognize as peace. And Padang is literally often is here it just means state. That's not complicated. So is the pronoun. So that is he. So yo, so, tang, it, these are the pronouns that identify who we're talking about. And adapti is
He saw.
So that's right. This is aorist of so. So let's see how to put this together. So who, destroying what is born, he wouldn't plant or nourish what's taking birth. They call him the wandering solitary stage, like Ekam Muninam. He, the great seer, has seen the state of peace. Let's
This,
see
by the way, relates to the beginning of the Metta Sutta. This is how you can connect these different suttas. Metta Sutta is also like from this in this sort of same layer of texts. And Yangtang Santang Padang Abhisamecha at the beginning of the Metta Sutta. There it's called Santang Padang. Yantang Santang Padang Abhisamecha, the second part of the Metta Sutta. And in our chanting book, it's translated as one who knows the path of peace. And I think it's quite a poetic translation, maybe, one who knows the path of peace. But I think more strictly, if you want to look into what it means, one who is skilled in goodness, that's it. You should practice like this so as to realize the state of peace. So I think
Santang Padang. Santang is the
peaceful.
Is here, so it can be confused with coming from existence, from a state. But here, this is stillness, calmness, peace, like Santa.
Exactly. And
Padang is not here. Here it's not a foot and a track. Here it's a position or state. So it's the state of peace.
Exactly. So I think it's more likely to be like it seems to refer to actually somebody who has already kind of contacted, who has had some realization of Nibbana, and like a lower, it's not an arahant yet, but say a stream enterer or a non-returner, and he wants to continue further to practice, so he has already contacted that state of peace. So this is the instruction on the Metta Sutta is actually what they should do, right? So it's actually not the path to peace, but one who has already known
he saw the state of peace. He is somebody who has that realization.
Yeah.
Let's again, Kavisako, can you please continue with the next verse for us? Oh, that was very loud.
Maybe Kenta Amaravati man, can you like switch off your microphone until you actually need it, or is that difficult?
Yes, I'll turn it off.
Still the camera.
Maybe you turned off everything, but we don't know whether you can still see us. But, oh yeah. But then, okay, I hope you can hear us. So, Sankaya Vatune Pamaya Bijang Sinne Hamasa Nanu Paveche. Okay, we start with this. Ajahn Gambhira, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. You're
Okay, good. Okay, that's so unusual. Sankaya Vatune, it means having understood. This is from, having to kind of survey. Sometimes translated surveyed, understood, having understood. And Vatu is a word for like the ground, the location. But here it refers to like, basically it's a simile of referring to planting, yeah? So it's like the earth, the ground. having understood or having surveyed the ground. Vatut can mean like ground. And pamaya bijam. Pamaya again means to measure. From pamana is so having like measured or evaluated the seed.
So there were two translations for pamaya that I saw in the different people taking it from different roots, and one way to translate it is from paminati, and then it would be measuring, and the other is from pamaddati, when it would be to crush.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you can, like it's poetry, you can take what you you can take what you like, but both will serve the meaning well, so it's not that big a deal.
Okay, so yeah, there's the ground, there's the seed in the ground, and then sineham assananu paviche. So that is from sineha assa. So hine sineham assananu paviche. Assa is of him or for him or to him. So something to do with the sage that we are talking about, for him. Sineha is the moisture, right? Moisture, the water basically that you use to put on the seed in the ground to make something grow. So he would not, Nanupaviche, he would not put down, what is it? He would not give this kind
He
of.
would not nourish it like before we translated giant on assa, nanupaveche. So he doesn't let it grow, he doesn't nourish it.
Yeah, he doesn't add this kind of moisture. And of course, sineha is the code word for craving, right? So
Yes, we will look at the
yeah.
what the terms mean, but let's finish the line.
Save muni jati kayantadasi. So sa is another version of so, meaning he. Sa ve is from have, meaning indeed. So it's just emphasis.
Just an emphatic.
Emphatic, so we don't translate it. He, the muni, the sage. He is the sage, or he the sage. Jati kayantadasi, one who sees, dasi, the destruction of birth. Yeah,
That's right. The common words we should recognize here is jati is for birth, kaya is to destroy or to wear,
exhausting.
wear away or exhaust, and then dasi is a seer, somebody who sees.
And takkam pahayana upeti sankham. So here again, takkam pahaya means having given up, having abandoned. Takka is basically rational thinking. Is like thought, logic, using that kind of that type of thought. Takka.
Yes, let's stay with logic, because
Mhm.
the idea is not that he's irrational, but that he's abandoned this discursive thinking.
Exactly, like conjecture is a good translation here. Yeah, conjecture. It's basically this kind of thinking that the other ascetics and Brahmins were using to argue with the Buddha, but he says like his realization was not based on that kind of thinking. Pahaya is from pajahati, to abandon. Pahana in the second noble truth, what should be given up. So he having given up, na upeti sankham. Na, he does not. Upeti means to approach, to enter, to engage with something. So he does not enter, he does not get involved with what sankha means. Is nothing to do with sankhara. Sankha means something like a concept or a classification.
That's right. He is beyond measurement, is somehow how it is said. Sankha, this is a very deep notion in the terminology, where it means how do you in order to measure something, you need a mark. The mark the mark to measure it. This is bigger than that. This is smaller than that. I am this because I am different from the other. These are marks that delineate and measure. And him who abandons this argumentative, like this conjecture, this logic, this naupeti sankam, this is the reference to the flame going out, at the moment of Nibbana, where the sage has seen through the measurement and marks and lets go of this attachment to the different boundaries. So it's a very deep phrase that comes up quite often. I don't know if you are familiar with this book. It's available here as a download for EPUB. This is Venerable Jnanananda's deep discussions on the Nibbana. He includes this verse, which Takkam Pahaya Na Upeti Sankang. I thought it was in this one. No, never mind. I don't find the reference, but this phrase Na Upeti Sankang, that's right. Here, for example, in Sermon 11. That's right. This is how he translates it.
Yeah.
The flame,
Correct.
this is the flame that all reckonings come reach to their ends. Na upeti sankang, he translates it as comes not within reckoning. There's no classification, there's no boundary. And this is a reference to the Arahant, the realization of the way the Arahant perceives experience. It's a very deep phrase. So to go back and analyze the words a little bit. So this is what the commentary tells us about the terms in the verse. So that Vattu is the ground that we should understand the foundation of defilement. That these are, for example, the aggregates, the khandha, the ayatana, that are the sense spaces, the dhatu, the elements, and these are the ground, because this is where the kilesas are attached to. This is what the world clings to. And this is why it's called that this is the ground. This is what the attachments will. This is what the kilesas will grab hold. It's one of the khandhas, ayatanas, elements, right? And then about the seed, like pamaya bijam, there's this idea that it is let's it's easier to understand the image if we first read the sutta, the lines from the suttas that I brought here for you. Is that it refers to how the Buddha defines the activity of consciousness with in terms of kamma. So we have this standard formula for what is kamma in the Anguttara Nikaya. Kammang kettang vinyanang bijang tanha sneho. Like kamma is the field, vijnana is the seed, consciousness is the seed, and craving is the moisture. So you recognize we had moisture in the verse that we read. We had the seed that relates to consciousness, and that this is why it's meaningful for the verse to talk about crushing the seed, crushing the consciousness that is the root of forming kamma. And then not nourishing it, not supporting with not giving it moisture, is not allowing craving to seep into it. Like that's the image. But you can also remember the line that we chant in the Ratana Sutta. Te kina bija viruli chanda nibbanti dira yatayang padipo. Like this is also using this image of the seed as the root of the attachment, the root of the consciousness that is allows future growth, future becoming. Like, and so in the Ratana Sutta we chant he, so they who have destroyed the seed, kina, destroyed. Aviruli chanda, they have no desire for growth. Aviruli is viruli is growth, and so they have no chanda, they have no desire for this growth. They go out, they nibbanti. Dira is the wise people, the wise men. Yatayang, just like makes the comparison, just like the flame or this lamp, just like the flame, they go out. So that this is the image of the seed being cast, being removed. There's no future becoming to happen. And then Ajahn Thanissaro connects this with image in the Samyutta Nikaya, which is also very interesting here. Let someone read it for us. Venerable Matteo, can I ask you to read this quote for us?
Here, two lines.
Rupupayam.
Rupupayam, Bhikkhave Vinyanam Titthātmānam Titteya Ruparamanam Rupapatitam Nandu Pasechanam Buddhim Virurhi Vepulam Apajaya.
Good, thank you. So from the beginning, maybe you recognize some of the words here?
Rupa, the form.
Good. And then from Upaya?
Upaya is arriving.
So from Upadi.
Pāli.
Or Upadana.
Actually, yeah, here it's actually, I think no, it's actually upaya is a different source. Upaya means to approach something, to kind of enter into something. So rupupayam meaning like approaching. So it means this consciousness that is when it takes a stand on something, it would use the form rupa as a place, as something to approach, and then it would use it as an object, rupa aramana, and so on. So it starts.
Let's go through a phrase then. So the form, the rupa which is attached. The form.
No, I think we have to start from somewhere else. It starts from vinyanam tittamanam titteya.
Okay,
and
so
then
would stand titteya.
Yeah, if the consciousness when it gets established in something, tittamana meaning being established, getting established, being established, yeah. Then if when it would take a stand or it would become established, it would do it in such a way that it approaches rupupayam. It kind of goes towards the form, physical form. You know, it goes towards, meaning like, yeah, that's where it gets established. So it tells you the direction. Okay, it goes towards a physical form, and then it continues ruparamanam. It takes that form as an object. Rupa aramanam. Yeah, it takes form as an object.
Aramana here is a support, no, a foundation.
Yeah, object in the sense of support. and then rupa patithang, meaning it takes form as the stand. You said landing on form, but it means like, yeah, it gets established in the form. It gets like grounded, established in the physical form.
That's right. So so we can recognize the different roots here that are repeating, like titta, titteya, rupa titta.
Patitha,
Like this is always something that is you know something that stands or being established. Like titta, something that is imagine something standing on the ground. Like that's always the image, and sometimes it's a state, sometimes it's a foundation, sometimes it's a support.
It is. It is the same. And then
And then
it is watered by delight. So delight is that thing that is nandi upasechanam, meaning nandi is the delight. Is like same as craving, similar. It's used in the same way.
watered with delight. Like this is the so you remember in the verse that there's a nourishment being that is watering the seed. It's watered with this grasping and that craving, watered with delight.
And then apajaya, it would reach, or it would reach apajati, and then to reach, it would reach growth. Means like strength, growth, increase. Yeah, these words are always used as a synonyms, basically. Growth, proliferation, yeah,
That's
increase.
right. Ajahn Tanisaro takes it for increase and proliferation. Buddhik viruling vepullam. So we continue. So that's right. So this is how we understand. He wouldn't nurture them with moisture. Like this is what the commentary is explaining the phrase for us. Sineha. Sineha is the moisture for them. He would not nourish it with the moisture.
Amaravati, you can switch off the mic.
Please. The paper noises are they come across very loud on the microphone there. And then, okay, we went through this, and then takkam pahaya na upeti sankam. So he lets go of logic and comes not within reckoning. So this is where Venerable Jnanananda, he goes, this na upeti sankam, this phrase he makes quite a lot of in his book, The Mind Stilled. He goes through several chapters just preparing to try to explain what it means. And but he's like he continues to explain that the tetralemma that is used in the logical arguments in the Indian discourse, like these are the four statements that something is not, something is both is and both is not, like, and or it's neither of them. Like these are the four positions that Vacchagotta also comes to the Buddha and he asks him, after death, the Tathagata must be in one of these states. So which one is it? Right. This is where Jnanananda says that this is the deep understanding, is that the Buddha's teaching goes beyond the tetralemma, goes beyond the idea of that something is or is not, and it is through this, that takkam pahaya, through letting go of this logical, argumentative, conjecture-based understanding of perception. And then because there are no reference points to measure it, he is not classifiable. There's no way to talk about him as in terms of categories. Like this is okay. And then the next verse will be, which one is this? Okay, so we continue with next verse. Ajanga Visako, who do you have there? Venerable
Tita Pemo?
Tita Peo, please read for us.
Is Anyaya, right? Okay.
That's right.
Anyaya Sabbani Nivesanani Anikamayam Anyatarampi Tesam Sawe Muni Vitagedo
Giddo.
Nayuyati Paragato Hihoti.
Thank you. Anything you recognize here?
Sabba, of course. I don't know if this is the same, but basically.
Yes, yes.
Niwe Sanani. Anyantarampi, I have the sensation that I have heard a lot of time in the Patimokkha, but probably I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. Anyatara is a certain, like in the Patimokkha, it often says a certain bhikkhu, for example.
Exactly.
But here it refers to another one, so something that is a different one.
And Tesam, of course, and Batanyaya, for instance, now I reading knowing and understand like Janati, of course, but I'm not. For me, it's difficult to recognize this form because probably it's changed a lot.
Also, with Anya,
Exactly.
with Anya, we need to recognize so Anya is knowledge, and Anyaya is upper. And managed to make it super tiny.
But
So
basically,
Anya,
it's the same.
Anya
It's
is
the same.
knowledge, and Anyaya, the Aya, makes it a gerundive. But actually, like knowing. So Anya, to know, Anyaya, knowing. So knowing all of what? All of the dwellings. Nivesana is a dwelling or living place. So knowing all dwellings here.
So Anyaya is in any way related to Jnana.
Yes.
Yes, it's
Yes,
the same.
the root,
right?
that's right. The root is Nya.
Okay. Okay. Yes, that's I see. Yes.
So the root is from Nya, from knowledge. It specifically means something that is a comprehensive understanding of something. Anya.
Okay.
It is sometimes used directly as a reference to the knowledge of the Arahant, as a complete understanding. But here it just means understanding, comprehending all dwellings, all living places.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is poetry, we will understand that this is about places where you take birth, right? And so we continue with Anikamayanta, right? You recognize the Anikamaya, right? Not attracting, not being attracted to another one. So he recognizes all of the places of birth, and for them there is no attraction to another. Like he doesn't want another dwelling place. He doesn't want another house. He doesn't want another place to be born. Like Save Muni Vitageddo Agiddo. So this is how the sage, the Muni, is without greed. and without greed, without desire. It's just repeating the same quality without greed and desire. And this phrase is very good. So, Nayuhati paragato hihoti. So this one, Nayuhati, so this literally means he's not struggling, doesn't struggle. But paragato, you might recognize this from the other shore, like he's gone to the other shore, he's gone to the beyond. And so he has already gone to the other shore. So not struggling means, I think Ajahn Tanisaro translated as he doesn't swim. So he no longer needs to swim because he's already on the other shore. Let's see, I think it's his translation. So knowing all dwellings, not longing for anyone anywhere, like for another dwelling, he's truly a sage with no coveting, without greed. No, he says he does not build. He does not build, he has gone beyond. Okay, who had he doesn't.
Maybe Sujato.
So Jnanadipa, he does not struggle. Ajahn Sujato, he has so that's right. He doesn't swim. He doesn't need to swim because he's already on the other shore.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is what the commentary also tells us, is that Nivesanani, we should understand that these are dwellings in the sensual realm, like in the realm of form, in the realm of the senses. These are places where birth is taking place. And so beings dwell in form, beings dwell in the sensual realms. That's why they are called dwellings. But another important allusion in Nivesana is views, is that it's also often used in terms of being attached to a view, being attached to a position. That like you take up a home in that view, you take up a dwelling in that view. In another verse in the Sutta Nipata, Ditti Nivesa Nahisavati, because entrenchment in views are not easily overcome. Like, you remember that feeling when you really have an opinion on something and you have to tell other people about it, that this is wrong, this is not right, this is how it's done. Right, that at that point you're entrenched in that view, right? And it's very difficult to get out of it. So Nivesana needs to be read with these meanings in mind, is that he knows all dwellings, meaning places of birth and views. And he doesn't take up another, he's not attracted to another. And then so for not struggling, Nayuhati, it literally means he doesn't make an effort or doesn't, he's not striving anymore. And the reference here is that it's because you remember when we talked about Kamma, and that the path leads to the end of Kamma. So this is about somebody who has abandoned craving, and so his actions are not producing Kamma. So he doesn't perform either wholesome or unwholesome Kamma, because he has gone beyond Kamma through the practice of the path. Okay, good. Venerable Samahito, can I ask you to read the next verse, please? Odd.
From Yahweh. Yahweh titato tasa. Not that one?
I try to open everyone.
Okay. So Yahweh titato tasarang wa uju jigu kamehi pakei wimang sama no wisamang samancha tang wapi dira muni wedayanti.
Thank you. Tell us what you recognize here.
So titato, I think we saw this one with a base for not a mark of something. It was
You recognize the root correctly, that this titta is often something that is standing, something that is established. But here it means stable.
Stable, okay.
Like,
So,
imagine like a pillar, for example, that is standing is stable. So that's why connected to those roots.
Then I recognize Uju from Ujupatipano.
That's right. It's the same. Which means?
Which one it is?
It's straight. Here it means straight or direct.
Okay, straight. Okay.
So kammehi papakehi, what could that be?
Kamei, it's not doing. Going? No.
No, you got it right. Come as in action.
Okay, action. So and AE, I can't remember which form it is.
This will be a locative in plural.
Locative. Okay. Locative.
And then papakehi means?
Papakei. I don't know this one.
So papa, as in evil.
Evil. Papa.
Evil states. Evil actions.
Okay.
Then tang maybe at the end. Dira muni vedayanti. Any of them ring about?
So Muni sage vedayanti. I imagine it would be like a feeling.
So your intuition is good. So vedayati in terms of experience, but here it would be in the sense of knowing. So the sage is known, or the sage is so they know the sage.
They know the sage.
So Veda. So Vedeti as in feeling, has the notion of experiencing something, and that connects it to knowing something, right? It's often in that sense how it's used in the text, not in terms of the three Vedanas, but in terms of experiencing or knowing something. And the Dira is, do you recognize this?
Yeah, I there is few monks with the name starting with Dira, so I'm curious to know what it is.
So it's very common in monks names or nuns names, because it's a wise or intelligent.
Okay.
Like somebody, it's another synonym for the sage, basically. So let's start from the beginning. So Jove Titato Tasarangva Uju. So Tasara is a shuttle. And this is about a weaver's shuttle. I don't know if you've seen these, you know, that you have a loom. You have a loom, a weaving machine, and you have this shuttle with the thread that is going back and forth. Does this help you understand what this is talking about? That you have a loom, and between the layers of thread, this shuttle is going straight across. Like that's the shuttle that is being talked about. So he is straight as a shuttle. He is stable or straight as a shuttle. He disdains or he's disgusted by. No, actually, these are instrumental. No, Ajangavesako, Kamehi
Yeah, it's instrumental, but it's in the meaning like he is disgusted by evil action.
That's right. So he's disgusted by evil actions. Vimang Samano. So this is contemplating. He's investigating. He's contemplating. Visamang Samang. And this is out of tune and in tune.
Majan, sorry.
Yes.
I ask, we can compare the, because usually we relate Brahmavidya as a dumb investigation, you know?
Yeah, but this is Vimangsa.
Exactly.
Is another word.
Exactly. I would like
Is
to
it
understand
similar?
if
Is it
it's
similar?
a simple synonym, or there is some nuance of.
There is you have to relate it to something else. It's the Vimangsa is Chandavirya Chitta Vimangsa is the four idipadas, the four ways of accomplishment. So Vimangsa is a kind of it's actually another name for Panya, they say, in that sense. Yeah, it's a kind of but in an analytical way, trying to understand something with inquiry. Yeah, that's it. Investigation, discrimination. Yeah, Vimangsa.
That's right. And so the important thing to recognize here is that the construction is Vimang. So Mang is the root to think. Right? It's not right, that's right. To Vimang Samano. Does that help?
And you can maybe look up Vichaya, which is from a different the root. The V tells you that it's some kind of separating, you know, it's like differentiating and telling one thing from another. Discriminating, yes, both of them. But this one is from Vichinati Chi, together to accumulate, Vichaya. That's we translate as also investigation. Yeah. So similar but used in different context.
So he
So
is contemplating,
this
he is understanding. This is the out of tune and in tune. This is the even and this is being even or being uneven. This is the simile that you've probably well aware of. This is the simile about the strings of the lute, or being somebody who is in harmony or out of harmony. And so tang vapi we need to break down as va api, and here just means or also or just, and tang is that or him refers, this is the pronoun. So they also know him, they also know the sage as one who is like that. Right? That's the so let's read who translates this. This is that's right. truly poised, straight as a shuttle, he loads evil actions, pondering what is consonant and discordant is Ajahn Thanissaro's Visama and Sama. The enlightened call him a sage. See Jnanadeepa. He says, with a balanced mind, he has a balanced mind and straight like a weaving shuttle. He is disgusted with evil acts and investigates the even and the uneven. Him too the wise make known as the Muni, which is the sage. So the origin story. So here, so we're reading the Munisutta, right? And it's a number of verses. And when you read it in the Sutta collections, it's not always made clear that some of the verses are from the same origin story and some of the verses are from different ones. So the first 3 verses that we read, for example, they come together, attached to the same origin story. And then we skipped a few verses here, and here, for example, this is the origin for this verse is a different one. But this is collected in the same teaching sutta, in the same teaching text. And so here the origin is about a merchant's daughter in Savatthi, who is observing a weaver's shuttle going back and forth as going straight across. And she is inspired by this with the corresponding sign. She in her mind she compares it to the straight actions of moral beings, and then she thinks, may all beings be straight in mind like the shuttle. And well, it's a good story, I think, but you have to remember that the gathas, the verses in these collections, are usually the primary source, and the origin stories, the commentaries come later. And so sometimes the commentary story gives us information about what was in the past, like it's about the verse, but sometimes the commentary stories are new inventions that are attached to the old verse. And then so you have to try to decide, okay, maybe this is something that tells us, what happened in the past, or maybe this is somebody like giving a teaching story that illustrates the verse, but it's not, what had happened or what was known. And like, I think the first case where we read about the mother and the son, like that reads to me much like a Vinaya story that could have happened, and then the Buddha knew about it, and then he would give a teaching. But this other one about the merchant's daughter, this also could have happened like that, but it also sounds a lot like a Jataka story that, there's some old teaching and somebody gives an illustration as an additional story about it, and that's right. So having said that, reading about the meaning. So Tassarangva Uju, what does it mean to be straight as a shuttle? Is Hiri Ottapa Sampannatta, that somebody is straight as a shuttle who has conscience and concern. Like Hiri Ottapa, you recognize this is we frequently use this phrase as somebody who has moral shame and concern over the consequences of actions. And Sampannatta means somebody who is endowed with that quality, somebody who has that quality. And Ajahn Thanissaro connects this with a mind that is unprejudiced by desire, aversion, delusion, or fear, because that is how the mind goes astray. Like Tassarang, here the image is that the shuttle is flying straight, is going straight. And a mind who is influenced by prejudice, and it's going into the wrong course, is going in a bent direction, in the wrong direction, then that's influenced by prejudice. And so he, in his translation, he links us to this sutta in the Anguttara. Chatrimani bhikkave nagati gamanani katamani chattari na chandagatin gacchati na dosagatin gacchati na mohagatin gacchati na vayagatin gacchati. Is that the key phrase here is na agati. Na agati. And agati is either, so it has two meanings here that is relevant for us. Agati is either the wrong course, like incorrect action, but it is also in the same way that it means prejudice.
Bias.
Or bias, that's right. Prejudice or bias. And so the sutta is asking, sutta is saying, bhikkhus, there are these 4 biases or 4 wrong courses of action. What are these 4? He's already giving here somebody who is not prejudiced. This is from the part of the sutta where we're given the good example. So somebody who is not agati, who is not going the wrong course, who is not prejudiced, who is not biased. What are these 4? He is not undertaking a course through desire. He is not biased by desire. He is not biased by hatred. He is not biased by delusion, and he's not biased by fear. Like that's the 4 wrong courses. And then we mentioned when we read the verse that visamang samang, uneven and even, is the simile that I'm sure you're well aware of, that this is about the lute strings, the simile given to Venerable Sona that the lute is only possible to play well if the strings are not too tight or not too loose. But let's finish with the last verse. Who hasn't read for us? Venerable Medavi, can you please read the last verse for us?
Anyaya lokam padamata dasing ogam samudam atitarya tadim tam chi nagandam asitam anasawam tam wapi dida muni redayanti.
Please explain for us.
Anya is knowledge.
That's right. We read it already. So not here in the sense of knowing, because it's a gerundive form. Knowing what?
The world. Paramata is like supreme, ultimate.
That's right. So parang is always something that is high or ultimate, and atta is the goal or meaning. So someone who knows the highest goal, someone who sees the highest goal.
Ogam, the flood. Samudam, I'm not sure.
Ocean. This is the ocean that is being filled with the merits that we chant. Yata varivaha pura varipuranti sagara. No, that's actually sagara. That's not samudra. Sorry. But okay, so Samudra is ocean. Yes, please continue.
Atitaria, don't know either.
He's gone across. He has crossed it, having crossed.
Oh.
Having crossed, and Tani.
Thus, something like this.
That's right. It's the thusness or the suchness as a quality. Like this is the another deeper term that is used often.
Yeah, Chinnagantama.
Chinnagantam. So he has. Chinna is severed. Kanta is a knot. He severed the knot. Asitang, Anasavang. Asitang is he has eaten. He's fulfilled. He's eaten. He has because he has no outflows. He's free of affluence. And this line is the same as what we read in the other verse. Tangva pidirang nivedayanti. Do you remember how we translated?
They know him as the wise.
That's right. That's right. They know him as the wise sage. So this is the origin story here is one that maybe you read in the Udana. It's about Nanda, the half brother of the Buddha, who keeps fantasizing about women. And the Buddha takes him to the heaven of the 33, and where the celestial Devata, they are on a dance or on some kind of show, and so the Buddha promises him these 500 nymphs, but eventually he abandons that as an unworthy goal, and he becomes enlightened through the correct striving. And this verse relates to him that he knows, knowing the world means he knows all the possible worlds of rebirth. Like he knows, but let's read the Ajanga Vesaku. Would you explain us the commentary sentences, please?
From Dukasacca. Oh yeah, Dukasacca vavatana karanena kandhadi lokam anyaya janitva vava tappetva nirodhasacca kriyaya paramarthansing. So lokam anyaya, having known the world, and then so Dukasacca vavatana karanena. So by Vavatana means in the commentary something like separating, through analysis, like separating things, analyzing things, kind of in terms of the dukkha satcha, the truth of suffering, basically separating the khandhas and so on. The world of the khandhas, yes, the aggregates.
Right. So dukkha satcha, khandhadi, like the understanding the truth of suffering with relate to the khandha and so on.
Yeah. Janitva tapetva, so having known, having analyzed, separated. For the purpose of realizing the truth of cessation, for realizing the truth of cessation, paramattadasing. That means the one who has seen the ultimate truth or ultimate meaning, ultimate goal, highest goal. Parama Atha. Atha can have all these meanings. The highest Parama and Atha. So you see in these oldest suttas, that's how the word is used, meaning like the highest, the ultimate goal or truth or meaning. But it's not used in the later sense of in the commentaries. It acquires this different meaning. This word. Paramata. And then Anyaya Lokam, yeah, we had that already. Attadasing, yeah. Seeing the ultimate
He has
goal,
seen the ultimate goal.
through realizing truth of cessation, exactly.
And then we talk about the flood.
The floods are basically four other names of I think they correspond to the four asavas, isn't it?
That's right. So there are 4 floods, and I included the relevant sutta here for you. So there are the 4 floods. Chattaro me bhikkhave oga, katame chattaro. There's the flood of sensual pleasure. Please, Ajanga Visaku.
Yeah, sensuality is a flood, becoming is a flood, views is a flood, and ignorance is also seen as a flood. So you see how that word, sometimes people wonder, what does this word asava mean? Is it it's some kind of influx or outflows or someone? So there is another word that basically is used as a synonym, meaning, yeah, ogha is a kind of a flood, flooding the mind, basically.
Yeah, it's the same image, and so that's why it's hard to say for Ajahn Tanisaro's translations. It's very perceptive. He always tries to bring out these connections in the different terms in his translations. That's why I think one of the reasons why he prefers effluence for the asavas. Like this idea of flowing in a direction is connected to the floods.
Yeah.
And
so the 4 floods, and
the
then
ocean.
the
The ocean is the 6 sense bases.
That's right. I think there's another sutta somewhere where they are compared, like the forms and the sense bases. They are like the flood. They are like the water of the ocean. Yeah. So yeah, and the force of the waves is like the intoxication with form, visible forms, and so on.
That's right. And so Atarathiya is someone who crossed over, and he crosses over through the development of the path. So he's Magga. If you read the so in the commentary text, Magga Bhavanaya, with the development of the path, developing the path, he has gone across. He has reached across, and so he is Tadi. He is such, unchanging. He's unaffected. It is difficult to capture the meaning of this phrase. You're probably familiar with it. This is what this is what Venerable Jnanananda says in the Nibbana sermons, that it's like this, that he compares it to the Dhammapada verse 95, where the simile is of a firm post at the city gate, like somebody who is unmovable by the vicissitudes of the world. He is steadfast and well conducted like the pillar at the city gate. And that way he is such, he's steadfast.
Mm-hmm.